former DRC President Joseph Kabila has arrived in the city of Goma after parliament in that country lifted immunity from prosecution. Kabila is accused of supporting the rebels there. He's announced that he'll return to the DRC when he was in South Africa about 2 months ago. Former South African President Thabo Mbeki met with him at the time and says he hasn't spoken with Kabila since the latest developments. However, there's a possibility that Mbeki may very well get a briefing from the former president.
No, I have not spoken to him since he left South Africa. I'm sure I will be able to speak to him at some point. But the problem, Sophie, is that the government in Kinshasa, like many others, including Joseph Kabila's government, the government in Kinshasa, I don't think has properly understood the Congo, its challenges, and therefore provide the right solutions. You know, when Patrice Lumumba led the liberation struggle for the liberation of the Congo, they had a view about this is the colonial Congo that we are inheriting from the Belgians. This is the new Congo that we want. And a very important element of that was to say we must unite the Congolese people. Mm-hmm. That was part of the Lumumba's revolution. Mm-hmm. Whatever the Belgian colonialists had done to divide the Congolese people, we as these Congolese revolutionaries must unite. That's part of the problem. When the government in Kinshasa is hostile to the Banyamulenge in the Eastern Congo because they are Rwandan speaking. These are Congolese. Or take a posture like the one they are taking now about President Kabila. As you know, Joseph Kabila comes from Katanga.
Katanga region.
He comes from the Katanga region. You take a position in Kinshasa, you say, he's a traitor, he's supporting the M23, we will punish him. The whole population of Katanga is going to be against that government in Kinshasa. It doesn't solve anything for the government in Kinshasa or the Congo. Because I'm saying that the governments in Kinshasa, even the current government, has not understood what was very clearly understood by Patrice Lumumba and others, that the task of the unification of the Congo is very important. Because they were governed under a colonial system. It was not in that interest of the colonial system to unite these Congolese. It was to govern them in such a weak way, so that they are all weak to rebel against the colonial system. If you continue that, you are just asking for trouble.
Mr. President, now the DRC government is working with the Americans to try and resolve that conflict. Do you think a solution outside the continent will be a lasting one?
No, I think the notion that you can negotiate that the government of the Congo and the government of Rwanda must meet and sign a peace agreement is fine. That is going to solve the problems of the Eastern Congo is wrong. This has been tried before, and we keep saying to the people, to everybody, the problems of the Eastern Congo are domestic to the Congo. They don't originate from outside of the borders of the Congo. So whatever the Americans have been doing to encourage Kinshasa and Kigali to get together and something, it has not solved the problems of the Congo. That problem must be solved by the Congolese people. So what the Africans have said, you remember when SADC and the East African community get together, we must encourage the peacemaking among the Congolese. Kinshasa must talk to the M23. They must sort out all of this. That is the correct posture. Sure, you can talk to Uganda, Rwanda, and so on about what their own attitude towards the Congo is. But that the solution to the Congolese problem of the Banyamulenge does not lie in Kigali. It lies in Kinshasa.